If this is accurate, this is awful.
She is hot. Why try to make it seem more offensive than it actually is?
Oh, he had a really hard time answering this.
Understanding, not even remotely understanding.
That was based. That was real.
Just say it. What happened? Just say what happened. What happened?
Max is so funny, man.
What happened?
That's gotta be trolling, right? Surely. I mean, it would also be like 10 times funnier.
Actually, we can go over the Max stuff as well. I totally
What's
forgot
Max
that.
stuff? There's Max stuff?
Yeah, Max responded to the Turkey Tom documentary, kinda.
Nice. Can we watch that?
We can watch.
Oh, you
that.
sound more excited than me, Dan. Jesus, I'm the one
that
saying.
I've said that I want him.
What are we?
Jews.
Brothers from another mother.
Okay.
What? Is that not acceptable to say?
No, that's fine. That's fine.
Are we not better?
That's how I see. Yeah. Yep. That's how I
when
see
the rapture comes, who's going to be left in this room right here, right now?
I mean, JSTLK will be
you.
left, right? We'll go to.
No,
we get saved. We get a second
Jews.
chance. You didn't know that?
I don't know the law.
I thought
the Jews get a second chance.
Evangelicals believe
Yeah.
that you all die.
No, they say we get a second chance. No,
What?
I swear to God, we get a second chance.
We get a second chance?
Yeah, to go to heaven.
None of this matters?
None of it matters, unironically, because we're Jewish.
Oh, boy.
How sick is that? Right? That's like the best thing.
It's like a second chance. It's like assuming, you're Jewish.
Well,
you already f***ed up the first one.
Let's be real. We already know the first one's going. It's because of Jesus,
Yeah, they killed our Lord, guys. They need a second chance. Okay?
No, Jesus was a Jew, and it was the Roman who killed him. Fake news.
Who did the propaganda? Who did the propaganda, Dan?
So you're literally anti-Semite.
What was Jesus trying to do, Dan?
They're saying, Kuihman,
what was Jesus trying to do?
What would Steak think of this anti-Semitic rhetoric?
Yeah, exactly. Who controlled the news back when Jesus was running around? Huh? Curious.
Well, I mean, no, it's the news in Jerusalem. Just to be clear.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. What? They're all in a big cabal? Is that what you're saying?
In Jerusalem? Yeah, in the Jewish-controlled Jewish ethno-state city. Yeah, they were.
It wasn't an ethno-state back then.
Well, it was a hugely
like the
super majority.
It was
like a super majority Jewish state.
Do you see that?
Super majority Jewish state.
There was a
city-state.
There was a CNN chick in like Damascus after Assad just left. And it was like, in this state, there's a vibrant Jewish community, acceptable. And it was like, there's 5 Jews in all of Syria. It was the funniest. And then apparently also, they the dude they rescued from that prison was like the chief torturer for Assad as well.
Oh, really? The guy who's like crying in there?
Yeah, exactly. He was the chief torturer.
Did he just hoodwink them? Yeah. Yes. Oh my God, that's next level. That's awesome.
That would be Kuihman. He would like. Assad left, he'd be like, all right. Everyone else would be like, I'm running for the border. Kuihman's like, I'm going to the prisons. I'm going to lock myself up. And they're going to free me.
I'm gonna have a liquid diet for the next 14 days. We're going to hide in this prison cell. I'm going to look emaciated, okay?
No need.
That's like the 900 IQ way to do it.
Oh my God.
All right, Mr.
Max Carson responds to Turkey Tom.
Mr. Female, Mr. Woman.
That's who he is. That's his
could
name.
He sue you for copyright infringement? You think? Like if Kuihman, if you change your name to Mr. Woman, and just started going by Mr. Woman online, doing similar and like had the same scene he does, similar look, what would you expect to have happen? And you became more popular than him, also. If you aren't,
I would expect diss tracks. I wouldn't expect much more.
Diss tracks.
Those would go hard. You should probably do it, Dan. You should probably go get a neon sign right now.
I was thinking about getting. I was gonna get the flight board. I'm gonna show it to you guys, but it's like way too expensive for how cool it is. Where is it? It's hold on. Here it is. Copy link. Copy link. Copy link. Okay, then I go back to JSTLK's Discord, and then I click on the chat. Then I press this, and then I press that. There you go.
Wait, did you put it in the general chat, or did you put it in this chat?
This chat, solo streaming.
All right, 1 second. Need to let everybody know that content's back on instead of just me playing Civ by myself. But what is this?
The
You're
real
gonna buy
question is
this?
I
What
was
is
thinking
this?
about it. Cool.
So yeah, like I was saying,
Fuck. Oh Jesus! Forgot we reviewed that shit yesterday.
Look at it. It's $3,000 though.
What? Why?
Well, look what it does. Look at the video of it.
Is there a video? Oh, it's like the
Airport.
Wait, where are the videos?
There.
Vestaboard.
With Vestaboard's core mobile and web apps, your message capabilities are endless. From anywhere in the world, easily send and schedule messages for loved ones, team members, or customers.
So the idea
Have
was I was
Vestaboard
going
place
to
your
program
messages
that,
beautifully.
have chat show up on it.
That would be cool. You know what? You know it would be better. Have you seen the widgets for chats where like you pin a message? There's like a Stream Elements one that I think, or Streamlabs one that Kuihman uses. So you can pin chats out of your chat, right? You just like pin a message. That would be good because I think chat would go too fast, right? To like do chat all of it, but you could like pin a message on it and then respond to it or something.
Like the super chats would be on there.
Oh, super chats would be good too. No, super chats
Yeah,
is good too.
$50 and up or $100 and up.
You'd
That
have
would
to
be
And it
crazy.
just
to pay-
sits there until the next one. Oh,
Yeah, and you have to like, dude, to pay for this thing, you'd have to. That's because that's like 4K right there, probably delivered. Really fucking cool though. And as far as I know, no streamer has done it. I could be the first, but the problem is I already have a sick as fuck octopus behind me, and I don't want to cover it up.
yeah. I haven't seen like the rest of your space there. I feel like it would be hard
Hold
to
on.
get
Here,
this to
Just
work.
real quick
wouldn't
so
it?
you can see it.
Yeah, I can see it, but like it feels
Where
like
would
you
it
have
go?
to get close. Yeah, I feel like your back wall's too far away, right?
Yeah.
The text would be too small. Like you'd almost need something right behind you, like a sign right over your head.
Maybe on top of the right on top of here. Right there. On top of the whatever you call it. The
bar?
drink mixer. But the problem is that when I'm in
Yeah.
focus, right? When I'm in focus, this whole shit gets unfocused because I have a fancy dancy camera. But if I put my dome piece in autofocuses, then it looks cool, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that cool background? You want me to just move and then you can make this your green screen?
I like marine art like that. I actually have I lost it last time I moved, but I had like a big Kraken painting that basically like pulling a ship down from the surface. So that's cool. Cool
Alright.
shit. But I don't know where you would I think this Vestaboard's like too small, right? I feel like it feels like it might be too small
I think
to
it's
go
quite large.
Beautifully.
What's the
Or
size
let's
thing
look
again?
or fresh and big.
see it
Save
again.
your Vestaboard, whether it's at home or at work. Inspire
See,
your favorite
hold
people.
on. See where they were? I think that's about how big it would look. I think it would look smaller than that on your back wall.
Hmm.
So that's already tough.
What do you think?
Oh,
Cleveland?
but maybe a second camera source, right? Couldn't you just do
Sure.
that?
You could.
I think that's what it would be. Second camera source.
All right, Mr. Girl time.
Yeah, I think so. Can you? But I would need for this though, Dan. I would need the settings that you would have like things would like randomize, like it would randomly flip stuff. That like when it changes, it would look super cool. I don't know. I need good visuals for it.
I want to ask you, what do you
Alright.
think about
This is Mr. Girl reacting to the Turkey Tom documentary that was done on him. Okay, the unfortunate and inaccurate Turkey Tom documentary.
the Turkey Tom video? He said that you are the creepiest intellectual, and I feel like any
But intellectual is in
superlative
quotes.
adjective.
Kuihman, you'd maybe know this. Does every caller to Max's show like mask their voice? Do they all do like weird voice changer shit now? Because I
I
swear to
don't
God,
think so.
every single one of them does like weird voice changer shit.
But you
Does
know
this
why
guy
they-
have a voice changer, or is he just some like Nordic freak? Like, he sounds like a Birdo Sparty voice, like this guy's.
The next guy's definitely got a voice changer, but yeah, sure.
There's an
I
Indian guy
don't
that
think
comes on as well.
All right.
that it was super.
Weird to just include that for no reason.
He's just got a very
Sincere.
Indian voice, like really Indian.
Uh-huh.
Adjective.
I don't think that it was super sincere. So I don't think that I feel much about that. So my first I didn't watch the whole video. I've seen clips of it in streams of other people discussing it. So yeah, my first reaction was the thumbnail says it shows me in my face, and this is my face doing an impression of my grandfather from a video. that, and a few other people have used screenshots from that. But so it's a face of me doing an impression of my grandfather, and then the quote is me telling a story. So the quote is, "She's 10, but she's hot," which is a story I told when I think I was talking about how.
If this is like accurate, it's also really quite bad. Like I watched, I don't know, 10 minutes of this. If this is accurate, this is awful.
You know, people on social media think the things I say about pedophilia are like really offensive and shocking and crazy. But if you go and spend time around psych students or psychologists, and I've
I think the thing is that
by
people
having
just, no one wants to hear complaints about thumbnails, basically. It's just like, all the quotes out of context, okay, I don't care. Like, I agree that it's a pretty crazy clipping, but it's just like, I mean, it's a thumbnail. It's kind of what I expect. I'm conditioned to not give a fuck.
Hold on, though. I think if somebody's telling a third-party story and you have quotes there that it's like a quote they've said, I think that's pretty fucked. That's like I don't expect it to be accurate, but I expect it to be like a thing the person said. Do you know what I mean? Like they're their words. To use someone else's words.
Yeah, if they're relaying someone else's words being used as a quote from that person. Yeah, that is pretty crazy. Yeah.
Like that's not really acceptable.
That's like, because you could do that with like any like journalist that's ever quoted.
I could just go read.
Someone says O.J. Simpson killed his wife, or like O.J. Simpson should have come out and said I killed my wife, and then you're like, oh, this person said I killed my wife. Like, but you can't do that, right? Just because someone's spoken about something, yeah. You just that'd be like saying like Relly last night saying like I love talking to 15-year-old boys. If someone was actually trying to portray that as Relly said, I love talking to 15-year-old. Obviously, when he was saying it like that, yeah.
But it's like, just take it one step further. It's like you just go watch Turkey Tom's video, wait for him to read the weirdest Max quote, and then show Turkey Tom's face and put the Max quote there as if it was his because he read it out with his voice. It's like that's like
so true.
Obviously would be fucked. So. Yeah,
Mr. Girl said the girls in cuties are hot. Turkey Tom says the girls in cuties are hot. That would be that'd go hard.
It's just it's a level of misleading that's fucked
on the show, and you know what they consider normal. People who actually study human sexuality is considered very strange and odd and unusual by social media people. So I was telling the story about a classmate of mine who was telling a story about a classmate of his. He said that he did this child study, and so he was doing this child study where they go to a second or third grade classroom. No, I think it was fourth or fifth graders, and they're at this elementary school in this classroom full of 10-year-olds, and as my friend told it, his research partner said to another guy who was also in my class, who was just like very more like a YouTube person, just like very uncomfortable. Like, you know, the teacher would say things like, maybe we do all have a drive to rape. And he'd be like, what are you talking about? Like, just like horrified by everything. And there's only 7 people in the class. The class is the psychology of violence. So we're even for psych students, we're talking about like more dark and disturbing stuff. And so he said that his friend or research partner was like, that girl, look at that girl in front, she's hot. And the uncomfortable guy was like, no, yeah, I mean, yeah, maybe maybe she'll be hot one day. And he's like, no. She is hot. And I thought that was so funny. And the uncomfortable guy was so uncomfortable. And my friend thought it was so funny. And so I think that is the story I told that he's quoting from. I think. I can't remember any other time I would say she is 10, but she's hot. Because the girls in cuties were 12 to 14. The characters were 11. I don't think I said that sentence about them. So anyway, pairing a face that is a face that I'm making to do an impression of someone else with a quote that I said.
Are you guys confused? I'm seeing a lot of emotes from chat that make me think people are confused. The story he's telling is literally, okay, the story he's telling is he was sitting in a college class, and apparently there was like so he's got friends who are also in this college class, and apparently one of them said to creep out a guy who was like overly sensitive for the class that like the girl sitting in front is hot when he knows it's like a kid, right? And the guy got, ugh, and Mr. Girl is saying, yeah, that was a funny story. He's relaying a funny story about somebody else saying that, and he was like, oh, that was funny that we grossed this guy out. I'm not confused. I just don't trust this fucker. Okay, I mean, if you don't trust this guy,
they just resort to.
if you don't trust this guy, then you have nothing to base your opinion that he's like weird on at all. Like,
yeah, so true. Literally, yes.
Like,
it's all his own words. Everything.
Why do you selectively choose what you trust from him? All of the bad things about Max, I believe those are true. All of the things where he says that they're not true, no, I don't believe that. I said, okay, all right.
That is a quote somebody else told me that someone else said, and it's all attributed to me. Just immediately, I was just like, oh God, it just feels very dishonest. And then, yeah, from what I've heard, in the clips I've heard, the video is filled with facts.
You had to choose Max or Vosh as your kid's camp counselor. Who do you choose? Probably Vosh.
Max.
I don't think Vosh is. I don't think Vosh is attracted to kids. I think he's like a porn-brained retard. I don't think Vosh is attracted to kids. I don't think Max is attracted to kids either. I just think Vosh is slightly less likely to put like really weird ideas in my kids' heads.
I think Vosh is more attracted to kids than Mr. Girl.
Possibly, but like, I think both of them aren't very attracted to kids. So like more so, it's like I don't know. I like a 0.1
I honestly think
0.0.
if Mr. Girl was around a kid, every conversation would be completely appropriate. I don't think he would go crazy or anything. I fully believe that. I think Vosh is way more likely to start being like, "Oh, have you ever thought about your gender?" Or don't you think it's like exploitation or like this sort of shit? I don't think every conversation Max would have would be totally chill.
You might be right.
Vosh would try and brainwash.
Yeah, no, that would be scary. Yeah, no, you're convincing me. Vosh, I just feel like Vosh is not that weird, but he is like, the gender stuff would be weird. The gender stuff would be weird. I didn't think about that part. I was just thinking about, like, them trying to fuck a kid, you know?
Yeah, I don't think Max is likely to fuck a kid. I think...
It's fine. Yeah.
Literal factual errors, just easily verifiable things that just aren't true, and then overall, like my work is pretty like offensive sometimes. Not all the time. A lot of the time, it's not. Like most of the content I make is not really that shocking, but some of it is. And so I'll grant that it's provocative. But so then why, if you're reacting to it, why try to make it seem more offensive than it actually is? Like, if you just watched that video and you'd never heard of me or watched any of my content, you wouldn't walk away with a sense of me, my work, the mission of my work, or anything. You would not know anything really about me or anything I've made or why I've made it. And so that's just so odd to me. Like, it would be like if you watched a movie review, but the movie review is designed to make the movie look different from how it is. Instead, usually a review or a documentary.
Oh, I didn't quite read this when we were going earlier, but Supreme says, I think he mentioned this in his first talk with Destiny, if I recall correctly. He described it as him and his friend laughing because there's a hot 10-year-old and described it as a problem. Okay.
Is supposed to distill the truth about something into a small little nugget. And so I don't understand. I get, like, for some people, if you wanted to make a hit piece and you wanted to distort who they are so you could attack them because you don't like them for some reason, I get that. But you don't really have to do that with my work. It's like offensive enough, like genuinely, that you could just kind of, and creepy enough that you could just be genuine about it.
Yeah, but then there is like maybe 5 to 10% of the watchers who will see your genuine work, and then they're gonna think, oh yeah, maybe this guy is onto something. But then if somebody will make it even creepier, even more of a caricature, then these 5 to 10% will not be present at all.
Well, so but what's wrong with 10%? Like, what does Turkey Tom have against 10% of his audience thinking I'm onto something? Like, you could still call the video, this guy's a creepy weirdo, I don't like his work.
he allows you to be like looked at accurately by most of his audience, I feel like, or if he allows you to not be a creepy weirdo, then his audience will accuse him of basically platforming a pedophile and like making their name bigger. That's
But what he's
just gonna
I
get
mean,
pressured
what
by his
he's saying
audience.
there is that you could still distance yourself from it and say, I think this guy is so creepy and such a pedophile or whatever, but like at least show or like demonstrate like, you know, why does Max make his content? What does this guy say his goals are? Which was never really, I think that part that's what he's complaining about not being spoken about, right? Is that, you know, it shows all these events, but it never really, you know, says to you, oh, this is why he's doing this stuff, or why he says he's doing this stuff. There's never like an engagement. It's just, oh, here's the time he got kicked out of school. Here's the time he got arrested.
Sure. Sorry, I understand what Max is saying. I'm just saying that, like, Tom's not going to risk any of that. I don't think Tom will. I don't think Tom would make that video without it being a hit piece. Essentially, there's like two options for him. He would either not make the video or it's a hit piece.
Yeah, but I think but he's saying it can still be a hit piece and say that part. Yeah, right. Or like at least accurate in that extent. Like, to me, it comes off like the more reasonable explanation is the people that helped Tom make the video are probably DGGers and don't want to say something like, Max says his goal in his content is about empathy, and that's why he said this shit about how everyone's felt like they could shoot 30 people in a room in school at some point or whatever. You know, that's why he said these things. That's why he claims to say these things, at least. They don't want to say any of that. They just want to say, oh yeah, Max is like this really constantly edgy, childish, provocative guy who just wants to fucking kill people online. And that's the only presentation they give. Because if they say the empathetic part, then there's a bunch of other stuff that might follow from that, especially from the viewer's impression of it.
Yeah.
I'm saying, don't put that on DGG. Well, why would I not put that on DGG? It's obviously, who do you think helped Tom write that video?
You?
Well,
no, not me.
You say that. I thought Tom was distancing himself. Do you think he just put DGGers on this video? Although it is kind of like an interesting topic choice after he decided he was distancing.
I want to make
himself.
a tea. I'll be right back.
It was
Maybe
not.
he already
Well,
had
it
it
wasn't chosen. Yeah, it wasn't chosen after he distanced himself. Right. It was probably almost entirely made by the time he was distancing himself. That's the vibe I got as well watching the video. Is it seemed like, you know, there was like one slight thing where he mentioned Destiny saying, you know, pedophilia shouldn't be stigmatized as a mental illness. But it's like, even that's like the lightest possible fucking clip you could pick to make the point. Oh, Destiny and Mr. Girl are kindred spirits because they've had pedodramas. Like, why was it not the 15-year-old clip? I don't know. Why was it not him looking up his niece on stream? I don't know. No, it was the one where he's making a very intellectual point about, well, we shouldn't stigmatize mental illnesses. And it's portrayed as, oh, well, Destiny just likes committing to the argument, not Destiny has attraction to kids. Which, I mean, but not that I think being attracted to one 15-year-old one time is a sign of disordered sexuality, but Tom would, right?
I mean, maybe. Also, is that a clip? I didn't know that was a clip. I thought it was like a set of logs or something.
No, there's clips of Mr. Metica confronting him on it where he says...
Oh, right, yeah, no.
He basically says, yeah, some 15-year-olds are really fucking hot. It's basically what he says.
Wait, do you think Tom would have played that clip if he'd made the video like a month later?
He wouldn't, well, depends who's writing it. I don't. If he wasn't using those same writers as he was a month before, then maybe, but...
Is that like...
No, I don't think they would have put it in.
I'm not like up on this. Is that just the standard assumption is Tom doesn't write like any of his videos essentially? Like,
that's my assumption. Yeah, basically. I know that his channel. He said recently. He said recently that it was like he wants to do more of his own writing, like a couple months ago. So I take that as meaning I'm doing like none of it. I'm the voice and the manager.
Okay, interesting.
Work maybe you would, and then 10% of the audience goes, you know, yeah, that is weird. But I think this guy.
This is the sweeping Olympics. JSTLK for Destiny, Kuihman for Mr. Girl. Literally, neither of us were just literally having a conversation. Are you all right?
Surely we can come to a reasonable position somewhere in the middle, no?
I mean, I literally just asked you, like, was this not a thing? And then you were like, oh, it's the Mr. Medicare thing. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I remember that. I don't even know what. I feel like, dude, the bar for people in chat to like speak a thought out loud. Like, I feel like when I speak a thought out loud, I have like some consideration that goes into it.
Consider it. Is that true?
Yeah.
I will say that. I won't say that, but no, there's no investment in chat.
They're
You
just
say whatever you want.
They're just like Lavloon, except instead of like a lie just rolls out without meaning to, they're like something completely retarded rolls out without meaning. It's just like these statements just fall out of their mouths onto their fingers so they can type them, I guess. Crazy.
Is onto something. What is the
Wild.
downside to that from his perspective?
Is it possible that he thinks you are harmful, and by allowing for 5 to 10% of his audience to find you acceptable, that he's normalizing harm?
That's possible. I don't get a strong sense of morality coming from him, and I don't even really get a sense of condemnation in the quotes that I've heard from him about me. Creepy is not a moral condemnation. It's not evil. He's
Is it? I feel like for a lot of commentary people, it is basically a moral condemnation. Like, I feel like that's the way. That's how we made all of Tom 10 happen. So you make like a vague allegation that can be used to like say somebody's like weird, and then if they overreact enough, that becomes content on its own. Mr. Girl just doesn't care, because Mr. Girl's been called like an actual, like, people make moral allegations against Mr. Girl all the time. So like you're just a weirdo. It doesn't work, right? I just feel
the
like
thing is,
that's,
what he's missing as well, sorry, is that Turkey Tom was calling Mr. Girl a pedophile in that video, but he would say creep, right?
Well, it's like hinting that he's a pedophile, but knowing he doesn't have the evidence to prove he's a pedophile.
No. He's saying pedophile. I believe he like literally explicitly says he's just. Vegan spoke to him. I'm pretty sure when Vegan spoke to him, Tom said, "I do think he's a pedophile," and I'm pretty sure that when he goes creep, because he did it multiple times in that video, substituted pedophile for creep while he's narrating something. So when he says there is good evidence to suggest Mr. Girl's a creep, and then talks about the times that he said, kids are attractive or whatever. That is him just saying he's a pedophile, and he has reaffirmed that as much. I don't know if he specifically said it about that instance, but he did say he thinks Mr. Girl's a pedophile, and that thing happened. So I take that fully as just him saying he's a pedophile. I think viewers do too.
I think viewers do, but I tend to think the creep thing is like, I don't know, man. It's kind of weird that you like talk about kids all the time. It's really creepy, and like there's no like. Obviously, there's no allegations of Mr. Girl being inappropriate around kids. There's no allegations of him actually being, I guess, like... Although, is there a revenge porn allegation? Was that the one thing that I thought was new? Like his ex-wife or something?
Well, it's not even a revenge porn allegation. It was... BPF puts Max on the spot in a conversation and is like, did your ex-wife consent to those pictures that are online? And he's like, I'm not responding to that, basically. And Tom's like... Oh, he had a really hard time answering this.
Oh, wow. Yeah,
and that happened the same with the drunken peasants thing, where this guy starts asking him, "Have you ever looked at child porn? Have you ever looked at child porn?" And Max is like, "I don't engage. I'm not engaging with this. I'm not so I don't engage with this." But then there's literally clips. You can find many clips. I've seen 2 at least where Mr. Girl says, "I've never looked at child porn. I've never looked at child porn." And even he's got an article where he says he doesn't even look at real porn anymore. He only looks at fiction and written things and drawn shit because he doesn't like any of the exploitation that goes in the porn industry. And you can never truly know if someone's consenting. So it's just like so fucking insane the amount of shit. Yeah, whatever.
I think that's I knew the video was like pretty bad just from the things that I was aware of, but like, yeah, because I got the impression that he basically like admitted to revenge porn from the video. I didn't know the incidents he's talking about. I just assumed that, like, it's a Turkey Tom video. It's like, I assume it's going to be accurate. And now that you're saying
he doesn't
that
make a statement whether it actually happened, but it was like, yeah, he even misrepresented the conversation that happened around it. Like 2 of them, even, about different instances. So
interesting.
Bad video.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He's just saying I'm weird.
Yeah,
I don't think
maybe.
it's out of a sense
like
of responsibility. I
think
genuinely don't understand what it is. What are we talking about, man? You gotta give me a topic here. We gotta have a real conversation about something.
About cuties.
Yes. Exactly.
So I heard you like 2 hours ago say...
Oh, sorry. It cuts over to somebody else. It's like an edited video. It's like a different caller.
That you found that 12-year-old hot?
The very Indian fellow that you're talking about, Kuihman? This is somebody I thought might also be using a voice changer.
I didn't say that. No, that's not what happened. I said that a guy who I know said a guy.
Why did Tom have to roast my favorite pedo? Sad face. Listen. If he's a pedophile, you should just be able to prove that, right? You should just be able to present evidence. But all you can present evidence of, and it's like especially weird given the video of like Turkey Tom's like he's clearly just being provocative. He's clearly just being provocative. He's mocking Asian people, clearly just being provocative. He's being extremely misogynistic, clearly just being provocative. He said kids are hot, clearly he is a pedophile immediately. And then, but also he didn't necessarily say kids are hot. He said the movie made them hot. Like he like actually said something else that's meant to be a gotcha. It's like, oh, I don't understand how you can go from like understanding, not even remotely understanding. It's bizarre. He said that when he was in college, he thought an 11-year-old he met was hot. That's enough for me. Were you not watching earlier in the conversation when Kuihman said that's clearly not what happened? Or sorry, where Max said that's clearly not what happened. Max literally said that is not what happened.
It's not the story.
Wait, oh, there's another story? There's a story where he said that 11-year-old was hot?
Feel free to link it.
Oh, sure. Yeah, Death by Chimp could link it, obviously. I'm coming on stream to argue this one night. Why not tonight, Zanaj? Come on and argue tonight. Why not tonight? Tonight's the night.
I have begged for how long? I don't know. For Mr. Girl Haters to come on my stream.
Is this the song? Like, tonight's the night, okay? Tonight's literally the night. Come on. Have an argument. Tonight's the night. This one. Also, if any of you guys have watched that new Dexter series, the acting is maybe some of the worst I've ever seen, except from the Masuka actor. All right? I was shocked at how bad the acting was. It was very weird.
You know what it was? They're like, listen, we want to keep Dexter going, but we cannot afford to keep Michael Hall as a star. So we got to make this kid. We got one season to do it, and it did not work. Is there a second season?
Wait, hold on. Which one are you talking about? There's a new Dexter remake that just started airing. I'm not talking about the Alaska one.
The one where he was, yeah, the Alaska one. There's another remake.
There's another remake, but it's basically it's doing him when he was younger. So it's probably going to be the arc of like when he first kills somebody to when he makes his dad commit suicide. That his dad walks.
Who's playing him?
Some retard I've never heard of.
Right.
Where is it? Original Sin. It wasn't a bad episode, but I don't know who this guy is. So it's like it's they're doing like a big remake, and basically all the characters are recast. So there's like Dexter, Harry's Christian Slater, Deborah.
Who the fuck is Patrick Gibson?
LaGuardia's in it, Batista's in it, but they're all different actors. Who's Patrick Gibson? I got no idea. I ain't got no idea. Okay, some Irish dude.
Looks like garbage.
What
do you expect?
So the Deborah actor's not awful, and the Dexter actor is not the worst because it's like a wooden character anyway to begin with. So it's not the worst.
All right,
but
back to Mr. Girl.
No.
Stop the railing.
It's so much. It could be so good, and like a lot of the side acting is just not there. It's really not there at all.
Guy he knows thought a 10-year-old was hot when I was in college.
So you don't think that 12-year-old was hot?
It was a 10-year-old.
By the way, this is how all of my chatters sound whenever Max comes up. Is basically like the way this guy asks questions for the next 30 seconds.
The guy he knows thought a 10-year-old was hot when I was in college.
So you don't think that 12-year-old was hot?
It was a 10-year-old. Do I think I never saw them? I have no idea. Now, my friend who said that is a pretty reliable source. So she probably was.
Isn't that what the whole controversy was about? He said that a child was hot.
I don't understand what just happened. Is he trying to act like he never watched Cuties or what?
No, he's saying that the quote about a 10-year-old being hot is not him. Like he basically did not do this quote because people are like, oh, in college he said that a 10-year-old was hot, and it's like, no, I told a story where my friend said that a 10-year-old was hot to upset somebody, and it worked, and that was funny. But he said he'll talk about his position in Cuties, I think, here. I'm pretty sure. Said the same shit about 12-year-olds. Again, you just need to engage your brain. You need to not shut your brain off before engaging with the points he's making.
Yeah.
So you did say that a child was attractive to you.
In the context of reviewing the film Cuties, I said that they made the kids look hot. It wasn't like I was saying the kids were hot just in and of themselves. That wouldn't make any sense.
It's not a bad thing. You know, you're talking to me. Did you forget who you're talking to? It's not a bad thing.
I'm talking to more than just you right now. Apparently, some retard might go through every single thing I say and try to find the worst possible things I said, regardless of the context I said them, and clip them all, and then make $1 million from it. So I need to be careful about. I need.
Oof. It's like seems like he's not a big Turkey Tom fan.
That was based. That was real.
The pseudo-intellectualism surrounding Max Carson needs to be studied. There's no pseudo-intellectualism. It's not. I'm not saying it's intellectual, but it's like it's literally just listen to the words. All you have to do is listen to the words. You cannot like it. You can say I don't like this. That's fine. But like just
actually being said, yeah,
writing it off without engaging at all is so silly.
Need to try to be careful about what I say.
Yeah, I don't care about that. So that's your loss. I don't care. Well, actually, I do care. I do care about you, actually.
Thank you.
Have you heard of Brooke's Shield? Speaking of 10-year-olds who are hot.
Brooke Shields?
Yeah.
Said what?
So, she's an actress.
Yeah,
Have
yeah.
you heard of her?
Wasn't she married to Arnold Schwarzenegger? No, that's Maria Shriver. She was married to Michael Jackson? Is that right? Wasn't she married to somebody? Okay.
I don't care who she married to. I don't think that matters.
Like, yeah, she had a relationship with Michael Jackson.
Who cares? Michael who? Okay, so do you know what happened? Her story about
No, just say what happened. Stop asking me. Even if I say yes, you still have to say it because we're on a fucking show. The audience doesn't know what you're talking about. Just say, here's what happened, and then we'll just talk about it, even if I knew or didn't know. I'm not going to interrupt you and be like, don't give any context. I already knew this. Just say it. What happened? Just say what happened. What happened?
That's just so funny, man.
What happened?
She did a nude photo shoot. So I think she was 8 and 10 and did a nude photo shoot. And a US court said it. Oh, it's not child porn. It's fine. It's legal.
Okay, let's look at her Wikipedia page.
And so, like, those... oh, yeah, she was 11. And you're not going to find it on Google, by the way. You have to...
You got to pay extra for that. Brooke is 12. She puts Shields and her mother Terry appeared on the cover issue of New York Magazine, a cover story about her modeling career. The main headline on the cover read, Meet Terry and Brooke Shields, while the subtitle read, Brooke is 12. She poses nude. Terry is her mother. She thinks it's swell.
And those pictures are on the internet. A US court said it's not illegal. It's not CP. It's not illegal. So, like, they're still posted online.
Yes, that... and she appeared in Pretty Baby, in which she appeared in nude scenes shot when she was 11 years old. So yes, not all images of nude minors are pornography legally. That's true.
Yeah, and so that's the.
I realize that's like an insane statement to just throw it on the internet because of how people act, but it's like, you can have pictures of your kids. My parents have pictures of me when I'm like 4 or 5, like first bath kind of thing, like not 4 or 5 with first bath, but like photos of me where I'm like, yeah, the Nirvana baby thing is like an example. Okay, that's a better example.
What is the rule exactly with it? That's a good question. I never knew that.
I don't know.
Is it if they're not in a sexual thing or something, or they're not being exploited or something?
I actually read the Canadian definition of child porn earlier today, and in Canada they say that as long as the focus of the image isn't a sexual organ or isn't for a sexual purpose, then it's legal.
Oh, well.
That would probably explain how the Nirvana baby is legal then, I guess. Also, I feel like on Wikipedia, if you Googled like baby or something, like you wouldn't expect Wikipedia to get sued.
Well, I don't know if I'd expect Wikipedia to have a picture of a naked baby, but like I don't think that's necessarily wrong.
Like one just getting born?
Would Wikipedia have like a freshly birthed baby, an in-progress birth baby?
I don't know.
I don't know why it would. Yes? Well, I mean, I'm sure if you Wikipedia the right thing, I'm just saying, if you Wikipedia baby, I feel like they're just going to have a picture of a baby. In like a baby, infant. This is the picture. Like, that's what I would expect. That's a baby. I don't expect some crazy shit.
That's fine, but cuties is not apparently.
Wikipedia baby penis. No, you fucking weirdo.
Yeah, people are dumb. But in Cuties, I will say Cuties is intentionally sexualizing the kids. So I can see an argument why an artistic nude of an 11-year-old would be okay, but Cuties would not be okay. It's not like Brooke Shields was twerking in the picture. So I think that what's it called? A distinction without a difference, or a difference without like. No, I think there is a distinction. I think that I think you can totally you can have a drawing or a photo of a nude 11-year-old that is not pornographic, or like a 5-year-old. Like if you take a picture, like when kids are naked at the beach or like at a birthday party or something, it's not porn.
See, this is what we call level 1 argument. Like, yeah, there's a difference. Good job finding the difference.
It's so unfortunate that Max's audience are people like this guy. I'm sure there are other people.
You could do a better job to challenge him. You have what it takes.
This guy is just like a weird. I don't know what this guy wants. This guy's just trying to be. I don't know if he's just trying to be provocative, but like, I don't understand why he's like, this is a level 1 argument. It's like, no, Max is making very clear points. I don't get it. What you're going for here? And he's like, you don't have to lie to me, okay? Don't you know who I am? Did you forget who you're talking to? Why?
But how does this difference like justify treating these two things differently? Like, what changes? What's the harm?
The difference is the appeal of the prurient interest. If the picture is taken to make pedophiles drool, then it's child porn.
A pedophile won't drool like on an artistic image of a nude child.
Not really, not the same way. No, not the same. No.
Yes.
Like if I see an artistic nude of Cardi B, I'm gonna have a different reaction to her shaking her fucking gorgeous butt in my face, even if she's wearing shorts. That's totally different. Okay, that's fine if you wouldn't. Your sexuality might be different from mine, but
he was gonna say gigantic ass, okay? But he went gorgeous, okay?
My point is that the presentation does change how you react to it, and one is clearly appealing to the prurient interest, and it's pornographic, therefore, and the other is an artistic nude. And that's not to say that people won't drool over any artistic nudes, but yes, you have a different reaction to a sexualized image, and we can all come up with some average definition of whether...
do you have more testosterone, or is my libido high? Like, why the difference?
I don't.
You should say libdo, like he means libido, I think.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think I know.
Good for you. Hey, I got disconnected. Turkey Tom did a discussion with Vegan Gains about the doll review. I can't believe people are still talking about this doll review, and people don't understand it. People still don't understand the doll review. They still think that when I was telling Shaylin, you have to get me off, that I was saying this is my rule. I wasn't saying that. I was saying an empathetic thing about sexual relationships. If you're dating someone, part of dating them is that you have to get them off. It's just an awful thing about relationships. If the relationship is sexual, you are kind of forced to have sex with them at some point if you want to stay in the relationship. Even then, Shaylin was like, are you saying you'll break up with me if I don't?
What is happening with his audio right now? Is this me or is this the video? You hear this clicking?
I think it's working fine for me. I don't know. Wait, run it back.
Oh, it might be my headphones. Hold on.
If the relationship is sexual, you are kind of forced to have sex with them at some point if you want to stay in the relationship.
Did like it almost sound like relationship was censored there? Or is that just my...
No, I don't think so.
I'll try one more time.
It's just an awful thing about relationships. If the relationship...
that was fine.
Relationship is sexual, you are kind of forced to have sex with them at some point if you want to stay in the relationship. Even then, Shaylin was like, are you saying you'll break up with me if I don't? I'm saying no. I'm saying definitionally, the relationship will no longer be a romantic relationship if we don't have sex. I'm not threatening you. That's not what I'm saying. I fucking explained it in the goddamn review, and people still don't understand. They're still like, well, he was like saying, like, I'll kick you out of my house if you don't let me fuck you like a doll. That's not what I was saying. I was saying this is part of one of the weird things about negotiating sex in a relationship is that the other person ultimately has to say yes. They have to.
No, my shit is totally fucked. I don't know what's going on with it. Hold on. I'm gonna back this up just a little bit here. Try to fix it.
Threatening you. That's not what I'm saying. I fucking explained it in the goddamn review, and people still don't understand. They're still like, well, he was like saying, like, fuck my house if you don't let me fuck you like a doll. That's not what I was saying. I was saying this is part of one of the weird things about negotiating sex in a relationship is that the other person ultimately has to say yes. They can say not next week. They can say no a certain number of times, but eventually they have to get your rocks off. They have to. That's what I was saying. It was commentary on relationships. And I was saying if we drag this out,
should be back. I think it's all working now.
Open or honest about this fact, then I think that will be a little healthier than being like, oh, of course you can always say no to me. Everything's going to be fine. It won't be fine. If it's a romantic relationship, you can't just count on, oh, I'll just automatically want to. Sex is something sometimes you have to.
Comes across as a bit rapey. Yeah, Max has like a whole philosophy around boundaries and stuff and boundaries and telling the truth, where he feels like, if he's uncertain that like he would want to be in a relationship with somebody who's not having sex with him, he will say, I won't be in a relationship with you unless you have sex with me. That's like the way he'll say it. Like that's what he'll say, and then he'll explain why, right? Instead of him saying like, hey, like I guess we'll just see. He knows he won't just see. He's just telling you what it is. This is what it is. Pressuring someone into having sex with you in the way you want if they're uncomfortable is just wrong though. So the second you come into anything where your partner says, yeah, I'm not sure if I want to do that, you should just end the relationship, right? That's your opinion, not just consuming? Or should you like lie to them and like slowly try to pressure them into it, but not without like trying to be covert with your pressure instead of overt? That's not it? Well, hold on. If you need something sexually in a relationship, it doesn't even just have to be sexual. If you need something from a relationship, you know that the relationship isn't going to work without it. You have that boundary. You're just not telling them, right? Am I crazy?
And even then, he's actually. I mean, I just came back. I was AFK for a second there. What Max was just saying is that in the actual conversation, what he's saying is it will definitionally not be a romantic relationship anymore if we are no longer having sex. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not even like he's saying this is a boundary for me. I at some point it's going to have to happen. Like, it simply will not be the case.
Yeah, sure.
That is
like
a
holding
core
out
part of what romantic relationships mean to them, clearly. So,
yeah, somebody said holding out should be illegal. No, but like, you should make it clear to your partner that like if we're not having sex for a long period of time, that's not going to be like a relationship I'm a part of. That's fine to say. It's not that you're pressuring them. You're saying, hey, I'm literally like, I need to tell you this is what I need. But it's fine if you can't give me that. Just let me know and we can end. Be fine. Googled romantic relationship definition, and sex is not required. Okay, well, good one, Dingaling.
This is like literally the that's got to be trolling, right? Surely. Please tell me.
Don't know. Not intentional trolling.
Work at, not something you should force or anything, but sometimes it's something you have to talk about and work. They can say,
I'm rolling it back a little bit so you can all listen to this again. I'll be right back. I have to use the bathroom.
Romantic relationship if we don't have sex. I'm not threatening you. That's not what I'm saying. I fucking explained it in the goddamn review, and people still don't understand. They're still like, well, he was like saying, like, I'll kick you out of my house if you don't let me fuck you like a doll. That's not what I was saying. I was saying this is part of one of the weird things about negotiating sex in a relationship is that the other person ultimately has to say yes. They have to. Eventually, they have to. They can say no. They can say not tonight. They can say not tomorrow. They can say not next week. They can say no a certain number of times, but eventually they have to get your rocks off. They have to. That's what I was saying. It was commentary on relationships. And I was saying if we drag this out into the open or are honest about this fact, then I think that will be a little healthier than being like, oh, of course you can always say no to me. Everything's going to be fine. It won't be fine. If it's a romantic relationship, you can't just count on, oh, I'll just automatically want to. Sex is something sometimes you have to work at, not something you should force or anything, but sometimes it's something you have to talk about and work at and figure out, how am I going to get this goo out of your balls and onto my forearm in a way that works for both of us.
Wow. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut him off there. Why does Mr. Girl not take responsibility here? He should walk out the door if his needs are not being met. Yeah, that's exactly what he's...
If there's not if there's a problem in the relationship, you don't talk about it. You wait until it's past the point where you want to leave, and then you leave. Don't you know, JSTLK? Talking to women about problems in a relationship is abuse, okay? You should never try to change a woman's mind or come to a mutual agreement on anything ever, because that's abuse.
Well, and I understand how some people are like, oh, this is like a really weird or creepy way of thinking about the world and the way he like handles boundaries. I understand that it's non-standard and not everybody should care, but like you guys are unironically doing like the Reddit r/relationships thing where like people are like, hey, I have this problem in my relationship. And the top answer is literally always just, oh, that's just way past the line. Leave. You need to leave. You need to treat yourself right. It's like, okay, bro. All right. Like, he's just trying to say, hey, yeah, I need this, and also, like, definitionally, this is what a relationship is. And if you don't understand that, or if you don't want to do that, that's okay. You don't have to pretend to be a doll, okay? You don't have to lay there like you're dead. That's fine, right? I know I'm weird. I'm being Mr. Girl right now.
Wait. Zinosh says, joking about abuse, though, is not funny. That's my entire problem with him. This guy is in the chat of the guy who's known for being the rape jokes dude from Destiny's stream. And he's sitting there saying, joking about abuse is not funny. That's my entire problem with him. And he's willing to come on and debate that at some point. That's crazy.
I'm sure he means more like abuse in relationships. Like, obviously, if there was a chance that I'd actually, physically raped Forethought, I feel like people would be way less comfortable with that joke. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, it would also be like 10 times funnier.
Okay, well, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying I'm not really saying anything. I'm just not saying you're wrong. Bottle up and then let it all out. Let it all out once everyone is asleep. Sure.
Forethought says in chat, it wouldn't be rape though.
Yeah, no, it's not Forethought. It's a fake.
I know.
Not just consuming says he didn't threaten to break up with her if she didn't do the doll sex though. It's just something he really wanted that she didn't want to do. I don't even know that she didn't want to do it. I feel like she was expressing like, I'm not sure that I'm into that. I don't think it was like, I'm not into that. Or I don't think it was, I'm not into that.
She didn't say no. She could have said, no, I will not do that at any point. She didn't say that. She was saying, well, how many times will I have to do it? When will I have to do it? Like it's negotiation, but also it's like the whole point, one of the points he's making in the video is that every time he tries to establish, okay, I want this thing, she doesn't say yes or no. It always becomes like, how can I pick this apart and make it into a conversation where I'm asking for something, where I'm asking, well, how many times do I have to do that? Or how many times how often do you need that? That's one of the points in the video. So it's just such a low level of engagement to just say, well, she didn't want to do it.
It's also part of the reason he does what he does is I think Shaylin specifically handles conflict that way. And he's trying to make it so that she can't like make it ambiguous. He's like literally begging not to rape her. He's like, please don't make me don't ho hum your way into having sex that you don't want to have. It's like, here's what I want. Like, please, I need you to understand that like this is a thing that you need to say yes or no to. And he's like trying to force the yes or no. And he's like, I think he suspects that it's no. And he's like, that's okay that it's no, but like I need certain things. Supreme says, whatever, even if she never wanted to do it, he's still allowed to have that demand. If he's willing to torch the relationship over it, that's up to him. Yeah, I think, yeah. No, Supreme's agreeing with this. I think Supreme generally agrees with this point, that Max is allowed to go, here's what I need, and then Shaylin's allowed to say no, but like he's allowed to aggressively state, here's what I need.
And if there isn't a way, then what do you do?
I don't think back up a little bit.
Won't be fine if it's a romantic relationship. You can't just count on, oh, I'll just automatically want to. Sex is something sometimes you have to work at, not something you should force or anything, but sometimes it's something you have to talk about and work at and figure out, how am I going to get this goo out of your balls and onto my forearm in a way that works for both of us? And if there isn't a way, then what do you do? And then I'm thinking, well, as far as, there's a lot of guys who like a lot of weird shit out there. There's a lot of people who think I like weird shit. I just want you to shut the fuck up. I want you to lie down and shut up. Shut up for 12 minutes. And then, the whole debate is like, well, do you think they were acting? No. Do you think that she knew do you think she was in on? No. Do you think that he was saying he's going to break up with her? She says no. No. Nothing you think about the doll review makes any fucking sense. You've had 4 years, 4.5 years. No, 2 years, 2.5 years. Almost 3. You had almost 3 years. You don't even have to think about it because I'm explaining it to you. Stop thinking about the doll review. Just listen to what I'm saying about it, because I'm explaining it, what happened to you. Oh, and then like, oh, she thought she didn't want to do the thing. There's like different tiers of doll review stupidity. The first tier is that Shaylin didn't want to lie there like a doll, and we argued about that. That didn't happen. That literally didn't happen. I got that the first watch.
Mr. Girl can't even discuss like the topic of the sex he wants to have with his girlfriend. The second she like starts responding, it immediately becomes a meta conversation about how she says that she's unsure that she wants to have sex in that specific way. That's like where it goes instantly. And that's like what the entire video is about. It's
a lot of
good times.
People did. But people can't understand what is happening. It feels like the people just aren't in relationships, or they don't fight, or they don't have arguments, or they can't track conversations. I don't know I don't fucking get it. Oh, and then the fights, the coronavirus vlog fights video. People are like, are they acting? What?
It's about your stream.
No. And then somebody posted on the subreddit, does anyone have a context for this Mr. Girl clip? How does this not expose him as an abuser? It's like people can't process that I posted a video, and I've done this a bunch of times. I made a video that makes me look bad. I knew that it made me look bad when I made it, and then I posted it on the internet knowing that it makes me look bad. And it's like people can't comprehend that happened. They're like, there must be some link, there's some gap in this chain. There must be that it didn't really happen.
Zinoj says in chat, have you considered that it could mean you are bad, not just look bad? That'd be a great point to make in a VC debating about this topic, but it looks like you're never going to do that because you're not sleeping like you said you were going to. You're just sitting in chat, sparking out for the last 30 minutes, changing your point whenever pressed. So while I would love to have that proven to me that Mr. Girl is actually a really terrible guy, sadly, I guess it'll never happen.
Wow.
Don't know that it makes you look bad. It was leaked and you didn't post it. Or you think it makes you look good. Or there must be some context outside of it that explains why you screaming at your girlfriend about her shoes somehow isn't abusive. It happened.
Jesus Christ. I just want to point out how he like stares intensely into the camera and you can hear him swallow like while he's staring.
Girlfriend about her shoes somehow isn't abusive. It happened. Goodbye, horses.
It happened. So I don't know what he's saying here. I realized when I said on my stream that I feel like he's performative for a camera. I'm not saying it's acting. I'm saying he's taking his emotions and he's turning them to like 11 from like a 9 or something. Like it's overplaying it. I guess he's saying no. He's just saying.
I don't know how conscious it is. I feel like that's got to happen to some extent, though. Everyone. I feel like it's so hard to not perform to some extent when you know you're being recorded or viewed.
Yeah, and you can like see her holding the camera on him.
Yeah. But obviously, he said like pull out the camera to record, or if we get in a fight, pull out the camera. Like.
Yeah, that's the whole video. Like, hold on. Goodbye, horses, and he's gonna stare a little.
Need the full stare. There we go.
Wow.